Now, how do you, strike the balance between, because there's a certain point in your career where you are not in a position to negotiate. You're still starting out. You can't tell your manager that you want such and such a percentage in the contract. You are prone to agree to everything that they say just because you want to get your foot in there. How do you strike then the balance between agreeing to everything that may be at your disadvantage down the line, and entering into a contract that is beneficial to you at the same time?
I think number one, get someone who's really, really, truly a fan, who really likes you, because also these are relationships. In as much as, everything's relationship. So you would want to be in a relationship with someone that likes you. For sure. Bosses, get someone who likes you. So you want to be in a relationship with someone that likes you, number one. Number two, I think with management, I think that really, that you can't negotiate thing, it really comes into play with labels most of the time. Where they're like, hey, this is the machine that we have, this is where this thing is going to get you, So, unfortunately, a lot of the times, with these big companies, they'll give you a standard thing, like, this is what we're doing.
Okay.
Are you in or you're out? So now, it's your business to say, okay, cool. I prefer people who go into that knowing than people who are just, I'll be a star, and go there and then make a mess of things. So, I think if it were me and I had a plan for my career or whatever, I'd go to a Sony and say, okay, first I'd try it out myself and see if I can gain some, some traction, because then at least I'll have some negotiating power. See if I can get some traction. If I cannot, then I'll go to a Sony and I'd say, here am I. And they'll give me their 360 contract, but I would have a plan. I would read the contract and say, okay, cool. How many years are they giving me? How many blah, 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 blah.
To establish yourself.
Exactly. With these years, what am I going to, because we make it seem like it's only just in the music industry. These things, it happens everywhere in business. Business is ruthless. Business is just like that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying... But it's up to you. Are you willing to go into that because you see a brighter future? And like everybody else, and it's not even in Africa or whatever, it's everywhere. Look at your J. Cole. Before J. Cole removed his chains and wore slippers and bicycles, now he's free. He had to go through that. He had to go through that. Exactly. And he had to finish his obligation, and now he stacked his money, and now he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
pretty much all of them. But the people who really tend to complain, and people who go into that, eat the entire money and have no plan for themselves. Eat the entire money and then now cry, I've been robbed. Yes, we've been robbed, but you also got something like 10% of $1 billion is something, then 100% of 0 is 0, type thing. So it's up to you. It's really up to you.
And it was a contract, an agreement between...
Exactly. So read the contract, agree to the terms, and say, okay, I know it's wrong, I know it's... but before you can fix it, am I willing to go into this? But if I'm not willing to go into this, is there any other thing I can go into? Search until you find what you because... Yeah, it's two. When you get into a building, it's two brands now. It's not just you. Don't be selfish.